Welcome to Geeks Corner. I'm Mr. Daps.
I'm Katie.
Johann Sebastian Bach wrote an opera about coffee addiction.
Wow, my life. Mood. I never thought that I would say Bach is a mood. What a mood.
No, keep going, please.
Big mood.
We're listening.
Big oof. Millennial speak. You get it. So you should join the conversation. Go to Twitter. Use the hashtag Geeks Corner. Maybe this guy will say who he is.
And I'm Cameron.
Well played. How is everybody tonight?
Groovy.
Oof.
It's much cooler tonight than the last couple of weeks
Don't
here.
say
So
that.
I'm taking it. It's good. Very good. It has not been cool this weekend though, and we spent lots of time at the Disneyland Resort, and that is mainly because of the return of the Main Street Electrical Parade. First off, what do you think of the Main Street Electrical Parade?
It's a classic. It belongs in a museum. I just wanted to reference Indiana Jones.
Comments. I want to hear what you think about this. Yes, go ahead.
This just in. Katie hates the Main Street Electrical Parade.
Thank you.
It
Breaking
belongs
news.
in a museum. Yeah. Oh, that's a fun game.
It is a fun game.
Hot take.
Hot take. No, but I really, it's fun to see. And it's, what I thought was the most fun is that we were there the night it returned. And there's been a lot of opinions on social media about people not being excited about Electrical Parade coming back. But the feeling in that crowd was
all evidence to the contrary.
To make a pun, it was electric. Like it was, you could feel the excitement, and everyone was so. It brought together people. It was. People want to hate it, but I think it's a classic that is.
It holds up really well.
May I use a comparative analysis?
Please do.
Nickelback.
It's not actually as bad as everyone.
Everybody says they hate Nickelback, mostly because people online say they hate Nickelback.
Yeah.
Nickelback is one of the top-selling bands of all time. They tour a lot and sell out a lot. Somebody's lying.
It's true. I feel like people treat it as like a fun thing, and it's kind of like an easy target because it's been around for so long and all these things. But it's a good parade, and I feel like you introduce young children to it, and they're not going to say, oh, well, it's an old parade, it's an outdated parade. They still enjoy it. They're still Disney characters, and they're still bright colors, and it's still good music.
And it's unique enough that it's not something you're going to go find other place.
Unique enough.
You say it 12 times, please.
Unique enough, 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 unique enough. I stopped counting.
I was waiting for you to stop.
Oh, good. But how did they miss us doing tongue twisters? Please.
Well, you never really know.
The people on the internet.
In old Hollywood speak.
They need to see unique enough.
Yes.
Red leather, yellow leather.
I must go to my dressing room. I can't work in these conditions. I really hope we're live just for that.
I do too. That was very good.
Good.
Yeah, we're on.
As my hair
the
is
funny
in pin
part
curls.
is we are actually private. I can fix that. So you guys keep talking while I go and help Luke.
Okay, well, we can't wait for you guys to watch this when it goes
This is
live.
going to be like that sneak peek when you go back and watch it later.
Yeah. Okay, we should probably say something really funny so that they have to go back and watch
Secret
it.
facts.
Taika Waititi wrote the original screenplay for Moana.
A planet with a double O is not a planet, but rather a moon which has left the orbit of a planet and has become its own orbital feature. A planet.
A planet. Perfect. We are now entering the
Golf speak?
Yes.
All right, we've got a 650-yard birdie to par
There it
5.
is.
It's going to be very impressive.
There it is.
All right, we're going to light it up, and
Beautiful.
it's in.
So people are now going to be catching up and speeding. This could be an interesting show because it's going to be like 2 timelines because they're going to be watching
Star Trek
4
J.J.
minutes
Abrams?
behind us.
It's going to be like that film
But at
Memento.
least we discovered it early on.
Please use the hashtag Geeks Corner on Twitter to tell us what timeline you're in.
And I previously was Cameron.
And that explains why it wasn't working on my iPad earlier.
It
all makes sense.
It's all coming
back
Problem
to me.
solving. That's great. Thank you, Luke.
It's all coming back to me.
There's a bonus fact if you go back and watch later in the before times.
Yes.
Before the dog
In the
comes.
way back.
But if you want to go back to the original start of the episode, you can find out.
The start of the
Favorite part of the Main Street Electrical Parade.
The lights.
When they break.
No.
That's my favorite part. I love the stepsisters.
Okay.
They're very fun. Yes.
America.
Bacon.
It's my
Long
favorite
bacon.
It's so good.
Patriotic
America is
bacon.
represented by a really big piece of bacon.
Is anyone surprised?
I like this. It's good.
Patriotic bacon, and it even sizzles.
It's beautiful. And
Yeah.
it makes me hungry every
If
time.
you listen very closely, you can hear pop, pop, sizzle, sizzle.
I like Elliot.
Elliot.
It's cool. It's actually one of my first Disney memories, so I always enjoy that. But I think that's what the Main Street Electrical Parade does, is it really does plant those memories, and people carry it on for decades, as we see. And that was the fun part about Friday night, is you see all of these different generations super excited to see this, and that was the busiest I've seen Disneyland at that time of night in a very long time.
I agree, completely.
Like, it was pretty much packed an hour before the parade, and it was...
Completely.
And same with Sunday. It was packed an hour before the parade. So go out and see it. You got till September 30th. If not, you can go watch our videos, which are on YouTube, this channel, hopefully. I don't know. It'd be weird if it was another channel, but, watch
We don't know
channel.
what we're streaming to. We're
We
confused.
don't know anything. But you can watch them. Let us know what your favorite part is in the comments here or on the video over there. And it's fun.
Yeah.
All right. Other things to watch online. The Disney streaming service will be coming later this year. In fact, November 12th, I
Are these
believe.
VR goggles, or do we have binoculars for our television?
I didn't know they were offering that.
Both.
So you will, as of today, they announced that you'll be able to get Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, and Hulu for $12.99 per month.
Yes.
Yeah. And I feel like Bob Iger said, oh yeah, you know that Netflix thing over there?
Hold my Mickey balloon.
And his churro. And his bag of merchandise. And then he just started piling things and he's emptying out his pockets.
Bob Iger's just standing on Main Street like, no, hold my earrings. I got this. Hold my earrings.
It's true.
So $12.99
Yes.
is what it will take to get all three. Granted, the only downside remotely that I have found in this is that you're getting the ad-supported version of Hulu. So you do still have ads there. And I don't know if you can upgrade to like $15.99 or something to not have the ads.
Yeah.
Which I would not mind at all. But just for comparison, we've got, let's see, where did I put that? Here we go. Amazon Prime for just the video, so that's one network, $8.99 a month. Not bad. Netflix standard plan is exactly the same price right now, but I understand that's probably going up. Showtime, which is a smaller network, $10.99 a month. HBO Now is currently $10.99 a month as well. CBS All Access is $6.99 a month. I don't know what the NBC one.
Amazingly underpriced for All Access.
Right?
Really think
Well, they're
about it.
trying. They're doing what Disney's doing, is they're trying to come in low, and I'm sure at some point they're gonna be like, "Hey, look at us," and knock the prices way up.
Key here.
Remember Star Trek? $8.99.
Yeah.
All of it.
Make that. Yeah. Anyway, what are your thoughts about this package?
I have no reason to have ESPN at all. But I am considering getting the bundle because that is an amazing price for both Hulu and Disney Plus. Like I don't have Hulu, so
Well, it's basically the cost of Hulu and Disney Plus, because you save $5 by getting all three.
Yeah.
And ESPN Plus by itself is $4.99. So you come within 3 cents at the end of the day of
ESPN.
but
if there's a game you really want to watch or something.
and I'm sure that
You'll be
I
able
will
to.
get use out of it. It's not something that I have need for every day, but I'm sure that at some point I'm going to use it.
Yeah.
So I think it's great. I also, to be completely honest, we were talking about it earlier, I don't know how much longer I'm keeping my Netflix membership because it's getting slightly more expensive, and they're also going to take The Office off. It goes off in January.
Breaking news.
Breaking!
The Office accounts for what, it was some ridiculous number, 60% of
it's
the
like-
streaming.
Do you know anybody that has Netflix, though, that doesn't watch The Office on it? I would tend to guess.
Larissa.
That you don't watch The Office? Oh.
The only two people in the world who don't watch The Office are here tonight.
but-
What do you guys watch on Netflix? What's your
I was
number
going to say,
one?
is it Friends?
Okay, Friends, same thing though. That's NBC,
Friends
and
is also
that's
going
going away too.
Because
We're just breaking hearts everywhere.
NBC Universal is starting their own streaming service, so they are taking back all their property to put it on their own streaming service.
Which is completely...
So Parks and Recreation, The Office, Friends, those are all leaving, and those are the things that I go back and forth between Parks and Recreation and The Office, and occasionally watch some other films, but mostly everything I want to watch is going to be on Disney Plus. Like, good gravy.
Mario just got a coin.
Yeah.
What's up?
He's like, can you imagine me playing Mario Kart over here while we talk?
Let's go.
This is actually Avengers. I see you playing Space Invaders.
I
Anyway.
wouldn't notice. We did.
But yes, it's something that I've been thinking about, that in January when The Office goes off, and I'll most likely be paying more money. Office off. I don't know that I'm going to keep Netflix around. So I think that the Disney Plus streaming service and Hulu are going to be a very strong competitor to Netflix.
I'm going to keep Netflix for the very reason Netflix has been doing what it needs to do to survive. They do have a good original content. And the type of content they've been making speaks into my interests. However, I realize that they're going to lose a large portion of the audience that isn't necessarily in that niche. I think the split is going to be that the Disney mega conglomerate of streaming is going to cover everything about PG-13 and below. And then Netflix, I'm going to bet it gets edgier and edgier as time goes on.
Becomes the new Hulu.
Yeah, something to differentiate itself. I mean, we already see it with some of their like horror content, and they have The Boys, I think, just recently came out, which is a like dark superhero thing. So that you can already see them distancing themselves by trying to make stuff that's different.
But that is part of why Disney took interest in Hulu, so they can put kind of the edgier Marvel content that they want to do things with, and they can.
That's Disney edgy.
But there are going to be things with mature ratings that are going to go onto Hulu that they don't want to put family. They're keeping Disney Plus more family oriented. So I'm very interested to see what they actually do with the content that they put on Hulu, and because the Howard the Duck series is going on Hulu. They're doing the 4 with the culmination movie. I don't remember currently what all of those are, but those are all going on Hulu because they want them to be true to their content and they want them to be a little bit more adult and edgy. So I'm very interested to see how they do that.
I doubt, even if they go edgier, which I agree they will, I think there's a cap for Disney. I think there is a limit to what they'll do. Even when they did the same thing with Touchstone in late 90s, mid-late 90s. Like, Mrs. Doubtfire was edgy, but it wasn't more than what Disney was willing to be edgy.
Well, I think Disney's a completely different company now, and I actually think Katie probably has a point. I think you have a point also, that Netflix is going to go where Disney can't.
Yeah.
Because there is a level that they will not go past.
It's true.
Like, Netflix can go as far into the R territory as it possibly wants and perhaps beyond. And I just don't think Hulu, like, I bet they'll have some R movies on there, but they're not going to go right into the middle of it.
No. And that actually brings up another point of something that will work. I think Disney will still have nature documentaries covered. Every other documentary, no, because it involves too much investigative journalism, too much.
I disagree with you on that because they own National Geographic and all of the Fox properties. But my bigger point with the whole thing is Netflix is in a dangerous position now with this. If they end up losing a bunch of people to this, where they are having to go more niche, if they keep going more niche and keep raising their price, when you've got, I think CBS is a prime example of $6.99, and if Prime stays where it's at, like, I actually think its biggest threat is from Amazon Prime, not Disney.
Prime has a very strong lineup.
And Prime in the last couple of months,
Yeah.
But Prime in the last couple of months has just been throwing tons of awesome stuff on it.
Oh, yeah.
And I find myself, like, if I'm working or something, I'm going to Amazon, not Netflix, which I never would have predicted.
Yeah.
And you do have to wonder at what point do Netflix shareholders say, hey, we want to see some money.
Yeah.
And they just haven't done that yet. And you've got this juggernaut coming off to the side, and your way out is kind of being blocked in by potentially Amazon Prime. We haven't hit the Apple TV thing at all, and like there's a lot of.
You know how you can keep my money, various platforms. So I'll tell you right now, it's very easy. You put a little option in your settings with a box that says, "I'm still watching. I'm just lazy."
Oh, I like that.
That's just
Yeah.
check.
I agree.
Stream the whole thing. Yep.
Keep it going.
Agreed.
I think that would get them further. Yeah. So a year from now, what does the streaming services look like? The landscape, do you think?
I feel like the Disney market is going to... I don't know if they're going to take the top spot by any means, but I think that they're going to be serious competition to who's out there. And I think that because it's not just... I think a lot of people are categorizing Disney Plus as just Disney films, when in reality it's the Marvel, the Star Wars, yes, also the Disney. There's also going to be original content put on there, like documentaries, Imagineering stuff. Like they're doing their own reality show cook-off in Magic Kingdom. Like there's so many things for so many different people. And
then they buy the Scripps Network and own Home and Garden and Food Network.
I see in a year's time, similar to what happened with some of these smaller, more niche streaming services that got eaten up. Like there was one that I completely forget the name of that got eaten up by Verve. I had a couple of shows I watched on it.
Yeah.
I see something similar, at least if Netflix attempts it, try to eat up. I could see them going after CBS All Access as part of the bundle.
Won't happen now. Because CBS and Viacom are merging.
Yeah, and there's all kind of contractual issues. I'm just saying that I think Netflix will try to bundle.
I could see CBS buying Netflix, though.
Yeah, well, one way or the
That's
other.
what I
I'm
could
trying
see
to
happen.
bundle something, trying to make it a more competitive bundle option.
I think that's very possible. It will be interesting, though, because I think, and this could be just they're not promoting as much. The only company I've seen actually say, this is when we will be profitable, this is our timeline, has been Disney. And I don't know, Bob Iger's pretty good at those things.
And that's a heck of a called shot for a streaming, because they're not
Nobody's
profitable.
making money on it yet.
Yet. It is a bet. Everybody's betting.
it's true.
And I think people will make a lot of money on it at some point. Like it's going to pivot at some point, but it will be interesting. All right, Cameron did an awesome article, one of our favorites. I think we can generally.
It was about wine tasting at the tutorial, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah,
It was about
what
Star Wars and
Same thing.
Star Wars wine
the
tasting.
absolute best character is in the entire Star Wars universe. And we've had lots of discussions about this through the years. And
Us? No, never.
We don't talk about Star Wars.
never. This show never.
I've never even heard of it. It's not or anything.
Point being is you wrote this article. It's rather in depth, but definitely worth reading.
Rather, it's like 6 pages in a Word document. It's
I know.
intense.
I put all but one picture in it. A couple of them were hard to find, but it was a fun project. Anyway, you go through and you pick out the top Star Wars character of all time.
Yes, of all time.
Very scientifically, completely factual, has to be true.
Yep.
So my question being is, we're not going to talk about who that is,
No.
because that's why you go read the article. Who should be the second most important character in the Star Wars universe?
Well, that's a tough.
Second best.
It's an easy question because I already put that in the article.
Yeah.
And Katie agrees with me.
I do.
So
Okay, then let's go with third, and it can't be.
I put it in the
You
article.
can't go with what's in the article, because I know how this works.
Okay, I will say the third best character, not assuming the top 2, which I think we can say number 2 is
Princess Leia.
General Leia. Yes.
And we agree.
Yes.
Yes.
We all agree.
First time ever.
Yes. And I think we all agree on first place because I picked it. And it's the best.
True. Scientifically,
We
again.
we agreed on first place amazingly enough before you picked on it.
That's right.
Which is that's kind of what led to this.
First place.
And me pushing it so
You ain't
hard.
first. You're
All right,
last.
keep going.
So third place, for the article, I won't tell you who I picked. But if I were to pick somebody else, I would say the third best Star Wars character is Darth Maul. Best does not mean good.
That's true.
Yeah,
important.
it's best like that.
And here's my argument for it. Darth Maul is arguably the most entertaining bad character in all of Star Wars, and that counts Vader, that counts Palpatine.
Such great lines.
It's but extend all that out. The man who plays Darth Maul, and I'm forgetting his name right now.
I'm forgetting his name too.
So the point is, he wasn't an actor before this. He was. Well, I mean, he was in
a
several
martial
films.
artist.
He's a martial artist and a stunt guy that they gave this amazing role, and they started with, we're going to have the coolest stunt guy be this character. And that's a great place to start from. It is the best. He is responsible for the best lightsaber fight in all of Star Wars.
Yep.
That happens to be in the prequels. There's good stuff in the prequels, friends.
Choreography in the prequels is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I can't argue with
and also just the coolest character costuming and makeup stuff. I mean, he has that robe that's like all tattered.
He
but
was
so
terrifying.
Cool.
Like,
legitimately.
He really did do, I think, for a whole generation, what Darth Vader did to the original
Agreed.
fans of, like, that first generation of Star Wars fans were the first time, and even second, where you first see that character and it's terrifying. And then Darth Maul did the exact same thing. All right, who's your third?
I was going to expand on the Darth Maul
Please,
thing.
Okay.
Expound.
I have
Then we
had
keep moving.
that conversation many times, actually, and I feel like in the last couple months, it's almost like a "where were you when" type thing. But when it's like, it's like, oh man, this guy's serious, and then it's like, yeah, like it's one of those epic Star Wars moments of like, where were you when that happened? What? Because it's such an iconic moment, and I feel like I've had that conversation a lot lately. I just really like Darth Maul. He's really cool.
Is he your third also? I really thought Cameron was going to say Lando.
That's a really solid.
I completely thought it was going to be Lando.
I will take.
I love Lando. Lower ranking.
I'll take from another point on the list and bring it up to third, but the Millennium Falcon.
Millennium
Falcon.
Okay.
Because she's very important. She may be garbage, but she's very important. And I love her.
And as argued in the article, the Millennium Falcon is a character.
It's true. And I'm not talking.
That's canon.
I'm not talking about Solo. I'm not bringing the Solo stuff into it because that's Solo. But I think point blank period. She is a very ever changing, always growing, kind of the Deus Ex Millennium Falcon. Yeah, that's pretty much what The Last Jedi is.
Yeah.
But I think that she's great, clearly.
Bailey says that she thinks your next article, Cameron, should be ranking all of the droids of Star Wars.
Yep, and
which actually be really fun,
some
but I
of the
think you
droids
should
are
wait
on
for The
there.
Mandalorian to come out.
That's true.
True.
And some of the droids are on this list, including Gonk droids, which are wonderfully bad.
Gonk.
I actually did not know before writing this article what a Gonk droid did. And now I know, and they're just as dumb.
and he did some great research on it. All right, we got to move along. We're running out of time. Little Mermaid is being remade twice now.
The Big Mermaid.
Live
yeah.
action. One will be a live action, and one will be a live non-live action.
Dead action.
Non-live action. That's what it is.
Yes.
Yes. Anyway, the newest one. You want to talk about it really fast, Katie?
Yes, Ali from Moana. She is going to be playing Ariel.
And she's going to be joined by.
I honestly have not looked at the full cast. That is not in the article.
It
Oh,
is.
damn.
The article is fully about how she is the second colorblind casting of Ariel.
Never mind.
It was. I believe they got a rapper for.
Yeah, and
Sebastian, right?
Yep. And then
Shaggy.
Shaggy.
Thank you.
Yes.
Stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it was the perfect casting for
It
Sebastian.
wasn't Sebastian.
Oh, what?
No, I was saying
it wasn't me.
It wasn't me, but it wasn't.
I
Thank
understand.
you.
I was like, that's the perfect. What are you talking about?
Queen Latifah.
Yeah.
Queen Latifah.
Yeah, and she's in it also. It's going to be fantastic.
I'm excited.
And I'm more excited about this than I am the movie. I just, think of the logistics of doing Little Mermaid live on TV.
agree.
No,
I think
it's going to
got-
be impressive, but
I'm excited for the music of the film.
I agree because the vocalist they have playing Ariel is phenomenal.
True.
So,
And they have Lin-Manuel Miranda.
all right.
I think that counters it,
Blah, blah, blah,
definitely. My other concern with the new movie that's coming to theaters is I really enjoyed Mary Poppins Returns, other than the underwater scene, because their hair didn't look like they were underwater. And I really hope that's fixed.
They
for
also
Little
go
Mermaid.
into an animated bowl, sir.
I know, but that looked fine.
Everyone else was animated except for them.
But when they were on the carriage, when they were doing it, their hair was blowing in the wind.
Probably because all the real wind they were using.
It's a detail that bugs the heck out of me.
They-
All right. Star
also
Wars
were breathing
Galaxy's
underwater.
Edge is about to open at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Yes, that's also a problem. And
CinemaSins over here.
I hated Narnia when they got on Aslan because they're flying like across Narnia super fast, and their hair is literally like yours.
And the lion
there's
talked.
That's fine.
Also, Santa was there, if I remember right.
They had lots
And there
of
was a
things going on.
centaur?
Anyway, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. We did a post this week. 5 things that you don't want to miss at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. For you guys, what is the one thing you wouldn't want to miss at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge ahead of it opening at Disney's Hollywood Studios in 3 weeks? 4 weeks? 3 weeks? Something like that.
In relation to what we've already experienced on the West Coast, or just in general.
Yeah.
I would not want to miss watching characters interact with people.
I agree.
Yeah.
It is easily one of the best parts, and you can spend a whole day doing it. It's fun.
I would not miss This is a two-parter. One, Smuggler's Run. Even if you don't want to go on the attraction, I feel like
It's worth it for the queue.
getting to go into the queue.
Yep.
And if once you actually get into the Millennium Falcon, there's a lot to see and do. But up until that point, use the Disney Parks Play app because I think that it's super fun. It's really interactive.
And it
keeps
gets
you busy.
forgotten a lot.
It does. I'm actually really disappointed I haven't been able to play with it, and I probably won't be able to play with it until the next month because going on the iOS 13 beta was a mistake. But I'm really bummed, but I love the Disney Parks Play app.
It's really fun. It's surprisingly
Very fun.
You can choose where you want to go with it, what parts of it you want to use.
Yeah.
And have you played with it at all?
I have
Cameron?
not.
We need to do this.
It'd be fun.
We should go in and
Don't
do
do
it
it
someday.
without me.
We'll share.
Thanks.
We'll figure out something. It's fun. Like pretty much anywhere you go in the land, there is something to do, and including like messing with the things Chewbacca's working on and either helping him or not helping him.
We've even had members of the Resistance storm up to us and be like, show us your data pad. We don't know that we can trust you.
It's great. Yeah.
So make sure that don't accidentally take first order missions.
Oh yeah.
Wink.
Yeah, Murray accidentally took a first order mission,
was
and
great.
they said, "What do you mean accident?" And it was like, "Well, they offered me money," and they were like, "That doesn't sound like an accident at all." It was really fun.
No, you don't understand. Payment for services.
It was very funny.
Ray and what's his name? Muradi? Murada? Whatever her name.
Mazda?
The spy. They were not impressed, and
No.
thankfully Chewie wasn't there because I'm sure Murray would have lost his arms.
Yeah, it would have been bad.
It would have been great. Maybe not the after effect, but
Maybe not the losing the arms part.
it was pretty funny though because they went in for the kill, and he was like, "Abada."
Well, and the funny thing was that he had a lot of Resistance affiliation, but he had taken one first order mission, and I
And
was
they
like,
found it.
"What's that about? Why do you have first order affiliation?" It was like, "Oh, well, they tricked me." And she was like, "I think you knew what you were getting into." And then they go to walk away, and he yells, "I'm a captain!" And Vi turns around and goes, "You didn't lead with the fact that you were a captain in the Resistance."
That was pretty funny too.
It's really good.
All right, let's go across the sea. Hong Kong Disneyland is rebuilding its castle, and it's going to be crazy.
It's wild.
Y'all remember when you were deciding what you were going to build a sandcastle out of before you actually started the process of building the sandcastle? Describe the many elements that you were going to add to your
And then he
sandcastle?
just threw
They're
sand
actually
in
doing
the
it.
bottom.
Imagine that, but if you had the money to actually do it.
Yeah,
It's true.
it's pretty ridiculous. So they have a castle that's going to have architectural elements that are basically inspired by a bunch of different characters. So this includes Tiana, Aurora, Ariel, Mulan, Jasmine, Snow White, Moana, Cinderella, Merida, Pocahontas, Belle, Rapunzel, and Anna and Elsa from Frozen.
So the entire royal court.
So each of those movies will get a spire?
May the spires keep you.
Yes, till the spire. I guess spires. But
Rapunzel.
yep.
She lived in a spire.
She did. Not a black one though. And this castle is going to be ridiculous when it's done, and it's
Absolutely.
such a weird thing to think of our castle basically over doubling in size.
It's so wild to me that they leveled their castle and are just building a new one.
Well, they're kind of just building on top of it.
But it's like that. You don't think of that as being an option, and they're doing it.
I'm just curious how much of the original castle you're still going to see, because it looks like they're putting it basically like incorporating the original castle and building up.
Well, it's important you have to at least leave a beam when you do it. That way it can count as, instead of a demolition, it counts as a remodel.
It's a remodel.
So for tax purposes,
Yeah.
that's very important.
Especially in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
But what the spires reminded me of, and I said it off camera, is it reminds me of the weather mains in Fantasyland.
Mm-hmm.
How they're each inspired by the dark ride attraction that they are on top of.
Yep.
And
Also, the wind.
yes, exactly.
They're very much influenced by that.
So I'm very interested to see how this comes to life and how it's all going to fit together.
Of these spires, which one are you most excited for?
I don't know. That's a really good question.
Because there's a lot of different things. Like, you think of
Yeah.
different areas of the world, like even looking at the American ones with Tiana and Pocahontas that are our continent, like that could go very different from color, design, you name it. I'm thinking, is it going to feel like New Orleans on this spire or what?
New Orleans on the spire.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting. I'm very curious to see, like, Moana too.
I'm very
Like,
interested
that's very
in
intriguing.
It's gonna be
Moana
the seashell?
and Merida.
Could be. Yeah, I don't know.
You should go to thegeekscorner.com. That's thegeekscorner.com. Pavlovian training has done me well. If you go there, you can see other videos of things that we have done, mostly look like this.
Yes. You should go to dapsmagic.com, check out all the Disney and geek news as it happens, find us ringing bells all the time, and subscribe to our Patreon.
And subscribe to this YouTube channel so you don't miss any of the videos that we have coming up. Last week of the College Band is this week. We've got D23 Expo in about a week and a half, 2 weeks, something like that. And a whole lot more is coming up, so make sure you don't miss any of it and subscribe. We hope you're having a fantastic week. That is all the time we have for you tonight, though, so we will see you around the corner.
Bye.